Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Coin Glass order book for Bitcoin. And what do we have selected? We're looking at Binance and OKX, 100 whatever increments, 100 increment sizes here. The reason why we're looking at this is because look at this. This thing's messed up. This thing is messed up here on the cells. It's showing the $100 orders. And then it doesn't do the 90s till you get way over here. And this portion to the right of my cursor belongs over here. And this part belongs over there. And I know why they're doing it, because they don't recognize the 100,000 as a 10. They recognize it as a 1. So the ones, now that we've gotten up that high, 1 comes before 9. You don't realize that 10 comes after 9. So fix your stupid ass shit. But the thing is, you know what? This is the old version. This is the old version. And when you click on the new version, you click on spot, and you click on, okay, that's where we're at, and click on $100 increments. That's what we were looking at before. You go to the new version, and it's the way it should be. It knows a 1 is a 1 and a 9 is a 9. I think. Doesn't it? Yeah. It's just really, but see, that's the thing. It's so tight right there. How do I make this, how do I expand this? I don't know. I thought there was a way I could expand it. I guess I could go and click on something like 10 if I want to. And yeah, see, it recognizes a 9 as a 9 and a 10 as a 10. I guess they just have no interest in updating their old version because, I'm the only one that uses it, probably. But this is just awkward for me. The other one was sideways, and this one's up and down, and it's just kind of weird. You can see, though, look at all this. Look at that big wall right there, big humongous wall at right around 100,000. And probably the same here for Coinbase and all the other Kraken, Bitfinex, I think, and whatever. Not all these other exchanges. Yep. Oh, but see, they have it a little bit lower because USTD, Bitcoin, and no, it's right there at 100K. Sometimes there's a slight, like, $100 difference or so because one trades in USDT and one trades in USDC, or it's Binance. I don't know. It's just weird. It's different. I don't know what I'm talking about some of the time, most of the time. Sometimes I do. Anyway, just wanted to show that in the get-go. Now, here we're looking at the Bitcoin US dollar index on the hourly time frame, and you can see that we are having a pullback. 97.6 we are at right now, from 99.6. We're just stopping short of this $100 thing here. And you know what? I thought for a minute that we would punch through. I thought, hell, are we really going to punch through here? Because there's a big pickup in volume here. And, but I don't think we are. And possibly not for a while. And we'll get into more of this later. But first, I want to consider what we are in store for in the next month or two. Looking back at what's gone on in the past, and I'm pretty pissed at Ben Cohen for stealing my idea. Now, I had done this the other night. What's today? Today's Saturday. Friday. Thursday night it was, I think. And then I was listening to him yesterday, and he was talking about the same thing I was looking at, a pullback in January, because that's what I intend on doing. I intend on selling my half of my stuff. I think I'm going to sell about half in January, because I do expect to pull back and to take some profits, possibly. And I don't want to do it this year because I don't want to have to deal with taxes. I talked about this in the previous video. I don't want to have to go into March, April, not knowing when the peak is and whatever, and having all my money tied up in assets, and because I'm not going to set any aside to pay my taxes in April. It's all going to be invested, and then I'm going to be like stuck between a rock and a hard place. And what do I do? And anyway, so if I sell and everybody else has the same idea, if we sell in January, we don't got to worry about paying the taxes on that shit till the next year. Plus, some of my stuff I can't sell till later on in the year anyway for long-term capital gains reasons. But yeah, others might be in the same boat. But selling in December may not be good. Of course, now on the other hand, the market might sell off. I don't think they're going to. It might sell off in December. Or you got to consider if the tax considerations are worth. You might be able to make more money selling off in December rather than in January. And it all depends on where you are, what you got going on in your own personal life and your finances and everything like that. So anyway, here we are. We're looking back at 2016. I want to know, what have we done in January's past? Well, now in 2016, 2015, we had been coming up here, and then in January, you can see right there. That was the 15th of Friday, the 15th of January. Now let's see. We'll go look and see what I wrote down on my chart. Because here, that crazy triangle guy, we have nothing but the finest and latest technology that we're working with. So here's my chart. In the year 2016, in the month of January, when we were in an uptrend by that little arrow that you see before 2016. Before 2016, we were in an uptrend heading into 2016. The month of January, Friday, the 8th of January, we began a dump of 21% that lasted 7 days. That's what I wrote down there. And here, you can see that it did begin on the 8th. We had a big dump over here on the 15th, but the dump started on the 8th here of January, and then it culminated here on the 15th. And although we did come up and come back down here, we didn't come below that. And then from then on, what did we do? I don't know. It's not important because we're not analyzing that. That's going to be a little bit too much. We did continue rallying upwards. So now here we go into 2017. Wow, we just went through all of 2016, and we are on the daily time frame now. So anyway, 2017, we had this dump that began the 5th of January, and that looks pretty major. Let's go see what it was. Referencing our chart, we have 2017. We were on an uptrend in January, Thursday the 5th. We had a 33% dump that lasted 7 days. Now, I'm not going to go, I'll just read these off. We don't need to go through the chart on every one. In 2018, we were in a downtrend, and in January, on Sunday the 7th, you notice the 7th is the 7th, 8th, 9th, that area is really, really popular here. We had a dump, lasted 10 days, 46%, and we were in a downtrend that year. And then also On the 10th and on the 30th, we had a 65% dump. First, a 46%. That was a bad January. On the 10th, a 46% dump, followed by a 65% dump on the 30th. No. I'm sorry, not on the 30th. Oh, no. Okay, what that says. Starting on the 7th, after 10 days, we had gone down 46% and continued to go down after maybe rallying a bit, and then down to, after 30 days, we were down 65%. I misread my writing there. So then, 2019, looks like we were in a downtrend in January. On the 7th, which was a Monday, we had a dump of 14% that lasted 6 days. And then also on the 22nd, we had another dump that lasted 30 days, and that was 17%. And that was in 2019 on a downtrend. In 2020, we were on an uptrend, and we had, why does it say W/2? Oh, with 2? Well, I don't know why I wrote it like that. I remember there were two 10% pullbacks. I don't know why I wrote W/2. Anyway, that means two 10% pullbacks, one on the 8th and one on the 14th. Maybe they lasted 2 days. I don't know. Whatever. So we did have a couple tiny little pullbacks in 2020. Now in 2021, we were in an uptrend. And 2021, that's important because it's 4 years ago. Also, 2017 is important because it was 4 years ago. In January, on Saturday the 9th, we began a 13-day dump of 31%. 2022, we were in a downtrend. And on the 2nd of January, we had a 28% dump that lasted 20 days. 2023, we were in an uptrend, and we didn't have a dump in January. We had a dump in February, just after, it was on the 2nd of February. It lasted 7 days, and that was only 11%. And then I went back in 2013. I did go back and go farther back into 2013, January, because it's a factor of 4 from where we're at now. Thursday, the 24th, we had a dump of 18% that just lasted 1 day. So the 2013, an 18% dump starting on the 24th. 2017, these are for your, in the same part of the cycle that we're in right now. 2017, on the 5th, we had a 33% dump that lasted 7 days. In 2021, on the 9th, we had a 13% dump. A 31% dump that lasted 13 days. That was on a Saturday. 2017 was on a Thursday. So can't really gather anything from there, although they did happen early on within the first week, after 5-7 days into the month. We don't have anything earlier than that other than the 2nd. That was in 2022 when we were already in a downtrend. And so I'm considering somewhere around the 7th, give or take, of January, we could be looking for a 30% correction, possibly. And of course, that depends on how high we get into that. So there you have that. All right, so now we're on the Coinbase chart. on the hourly time frame, looking at Bitcoin, just to point out the bearish divergence that we were having as we were on the hourly as we were approaching 100K, and not just on the hourly, on the 4 hour as well. Although, you know, they don't have it here. I don't know why they don't. Well, because whatever. But you can see we're making lower lows on the RSI and higher highs here on the price, and same on the daily. There, I made a green line because you can see the lower lows on the RSI and higher highs on the daily here. And, you know, one might argue that this here played out. One might argue that if I can do this, that this divergence from here to here played out with this candle. I don't know. So, but from this point to this point, you can clearly see that RSI is not matching the price action. So therefore, down we go. As well, here you can notice that we are crossing below the moving average here on the daily RSI, although it is up here in the bullish area. So that's not as significant as if it was lower here. But this looks like it's wanting to come down. Everything looks like it's wanting to come down. That's just how I'm seeing things. Now, if you've been following along, you know that I'm big on the 4-hour Gaussian channel. I'm not big on it, but I've been paying attention to it lately since we've been approaching it for the past, I don't know, since over here. Well, it's just been a week since we've been approaching it for the past week. And there it is. I just turned it on, and we decided, so I even made these boxes. If we stayed in the boxes, it was concerning that we might be entering the Gaussian channel right here, but you can see that we did break above the boxes, and we did cross above this big, thick, white dashed center line, and that is the center line of this channel right here that is going sideways across your screen in white. The top right there where my cursor is at just over 100,000. About 101 and some change, and the bottom of it is at 87, about 88,000, and I'm sorry, 80, yeah. And so that is the most important channel in Bitcoin history. If you've been following, and if you haven't, go back and I don't want to put you through that. Don't go back and listen to previous videos. It'll just, nobody has time for that. But this channel it's the channel from which all parabolic Bitcoin rallies start from, either with a consolidation on top of the channel where we've inched, like in 2019 and 20, we just bounced and bounced and bounced on top of this channel and then finally took off. And in prior cycles, we consolidated within this channel for at least a brief moment before shooting through and starting our parabolic bull rally. I think one time we consolidated very briefly in here and shot through. Another time we consolidated a little bit longer in here, but it's the same channel. It goes all the way back through the beginning of several parabolic bull rallies. Now, so that's where we are at. We are consolidating within that channel right now. You can see clearly right here that we held it as support. And when we did, we came up here, and the 100K is right around the top of the channel. And we're seeing a rejection there. And I'm thinking that we could come all the way back down to the bottom of that channel. And that's around 88. And so also here we are looking at a a regular head and shoulders kind of forming here with 1, 2, 3 here, and we would be breaking down from that right now. It doesn't have necessarily a very clear neckline, but this looks like a reversal. And so when I saw this, I did place this parallel channel here, and that was prior to this action right here. It was prior to this 4-hour candle forming. And I lined it up with this point here, with this point over here, and with the center line looking, well, and the other side of the channel at the top of this 4-hour channel. And the center line looks like it kind of has a couple candle wicks coming down to it there. So when I did that, if we look on an hourly time frame, because that's how I drew it on the hourly, you can see that with these subsequent, this is when I drew it, when we were right here, and with these subsequent candles we came down, and this acted as resistance right here. So it's telling me probably an accurate drawing of that channel. So we shall see somewhat. And when we do that, that would take us, so this was the area I thought we would be in on Sunday at the end of the week. And this is right around, you can see, at that time, okay, wait. Okay, we got to go back to a 4-hour, because that's the, yeah. You can see that's where the Gaussian channel is heading. So I'm thinking we're going to keep an eye on this. I believe we will come back down to the center line of this channel. This is at the end of the day when CME futures starts trading again around 2200. Wait, when does it trade? No, I'm sorry, it trades at 2300 UTC. And that'll be right around the intersection of the center line of our channel and the top of the 4-hour Gaussian channel. So that's something to watch for. And if we well, you know what? Even if we wick down into there, we might be able to wick and escape. But I think even if we do that, eventually we will come back into contact with that Gaussian channel. Somewhere over here, maybe later on in the week, maybe even Thanksgiving Day, we might see maybe they have a huge Thanksgiving dump plan for us, like the one they did on us around the 4th of July. And I remember that I was on vacation, and I was pretty pissed off at them for doing that. And I had very spotty internet services. A real pain in the ass. So anyway, that's what I'm looking for. And if we do break down into that Gaussian channel, if we do come down in here, I think we will continue following this down to at least to 88. And I think their plan is to hit bottom at 88888, which is very lucky for if you're Chinese, I believe. Lucky or signifies wealth or something like that. It's really good. So that could be the case. I don't think we're going to go down any further. Maybe we do. We'll have to reevaluate at that time. But also, this has diagonal support back here. Well, where we were consolidating earlier. You can see this is an area of support on the base of that channel, as I talked about earlier. Alternatively, maybe we do come down to this area of support, or even all the way to this green line, because what we're doing right now, we are also rejecting off of the top of this green channel. This green channel comes all the way down here, which is very, very interesting, because that's around the $77,000 CME futures gap. So that's something to keep in mind too. And we would be coming down there around the first couple days of December. And I think that's when we will get new employment data. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head right now. So these are all things to consider. And then we have CPI data coming in here where the yellow line is, and that is on the 11th of December, and the new FOMC meeting on the 18th, I believe. Yeah, the 18th of December. So I'm thinking that we pull back possibly to 88K this week, sometime this week, if we do follow into that 4-hour Gaussian channel, and maybe down well, yeah, 88K is down here. And I think we can probably continue oscillating in this channel, maybe even forming a ascending triangle right here in this area. Could very well be the case. And if that were the case, could be a breakout in January. Totally opposite of what I'm thinking, unless we get the breakout at the very end of the year. Yeah. Or the very beginning of January, right here. The last few days of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of January. We shoot up and then come back down and retest it. We might shoot up, everybody takes their profits, and we come back down and retest it. I don't know. Well, that's way down. That's a long ways down the line. So let's just see what happens. Let's stay focused on. That's in January. We're still in November, right? So things I'm looking at. All right. So if you're still here, maybe subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next time.